All right, ladies and gentlemen, this game is now getting started. Give me 1 second. The teams are playing Void are Cleveland and Miami. Those are the teams. All right, here we go. Here, let me put this in live. And here we go. And now Miami is going to be the one to kick off this game. So Cleveland will be the one to get the ball first. So in terms of Cleveland's game plan, I'm not entirely sure what you could really do. But right now, this boy going to be the one to be quarterback for Cleveland. Couldn't quite get his name in time, but it will be fine. Looks like they're going to take a P clock, though, to give some time to set up. Meanwhile, I'm going to pull a couple of things here. All right, so do you guys care if I have background music on or not? I don't really know if you guys have a preference, if you want like background music on, but like quieter. But either way, though, I think it's just, I feel like it's a little quiet. Got him. I don't even know how that's blacklisted. I don't think I put that, but it's fine. But resetting the play. So now the game will officially start. This boy going to be the quarterback for Cleveland, and it's going to be a walk to flawless. And now, just like that, Cleveland is starting strong with the first down. You can't really go wrong with that. But either way, let's see what this boy can do here. It's going to be another one to flawless. And he's going to get the first? Yes, he will. So far, 2 quick passes to flawless. And here we go. Let's see if this boy can make something happen here. Oh, and he's looking deep. He's looking for it. Oh, just a little overthrown, though. Could have had an easy touchdown. It was just a little bit lower, but that's just how it all crumbles sometimes. But here we go. This boy going to be looking for the true Banks. Looking for a bit of a walk there. I don't really know if it actually was a walk, but it's close enough. But it's going to be a touchdown by Flawless. A touchdown down the streak. And just like that, Cleveland strikes first. And now Miami needs to respond here with a score of their own. And you know, from this Miami team, you know they're going to do just that. Unfortunately, since you cannot go for 2, because of the rules, until the 4th quarter, it will not count regardless. And now a hike. Or no, that's not a hike. That's just a kickoff, sorry. And it looks like, King Crusher's going to take it a pretty modest amount around the 36-yard line. And now FWKB going to be 16 yards. And now here we go. This is where Miami starts to roll. Miami is a team that's not really known for their for their defense. They're known more or less for their offense. But let's see if we can see it in action. King Crusher going to be the one to lead the charge here. And it's going to be the 007 on the check down. He's going to try to dodge and weave if he can. And it's going to be good for about 12 yards on that play. And now here we go, King Crusher hopefully with a chance to be able to score here. You never know. This Cleveland team is very unpredictable in a lot of ways. You don't really know what you're going to get with this team, but maybe they can lock in and hopefully beat Miami. But there is one thing, though. You can never really count Miami out. That's always been the motto with them. They may not win every time, but you can never really count them out until the clock hits 0 in the fourth quarter, you know? But either way, let's see if King Crusher can score here. And it's going to be interception by Flawless. Flawless making his MVP, Super Bowl MVP statement right now. And just like that, I mean, I don't know if that was a critical mistake from that Miami receiver, or I think I might have Best Will. I don't know if that was a big mistake by Best Will or if it was just an incredible play by Flawless. But either way, it's a turnover on downs for Cleveland. And now Cleveland in the driver's seat at the moment, starting this game in the first quarter. And it's going to be Flawless again. Flawless looking to be the wide receiver 1 of this team somehow. At least judging by this game. And now this boy looking around, see what he can find. He's going to take off and run it. Why not? It has an open lane. And he's going to get about a gain of 8. I mean, so far, things have looked very, very good for them. And it's going to be, oh no, it's going to be interception right back. Another critical error from the Cleveland receiving core. And it's going to be Squishy that is going to capitalize on it on this Miami defense. And just like that, Miami now has a chance to get back into this game and hopefully take the lead. I mean, that was just a critical mistake there from both of the Cleveland receivers there. Just didn't seem to capitalize on a pass there. But either way, let's see if King Crusher can do something. He's backed up quite a bit. It's going to be a safety. King Crusher greeted for just a little too long. And unfortunately took a sack there in the end zone. And it was by Armani. Armani going to be the one to get the sack there. And now Cleveland up by 8 points. I mean, this is a perfect start for Cleveland so far this game. Now, I know sometimes if you've been to my stream for more than my streams more than once, I do mention that offense is definitely the favored meta right now, but it doesn't make it necessarily free. If you get what I'm saying, it's very volatile. It's a very volatile meta for offense because of just how like catch and interception heavy this game can be. Because yeah, I mean, offense is definitely the stronger position of the two, but there are definitely times where, you know, offense can just make a mistake and it ends up looking like a defensive play when it might not be. But either way, though, this boy, and it's going to be the Flawless again. And this boy, I mean, hopefully this boy can. So far, the True Bank's going to get it on the in route. Sorry. And here we go. This boy going to be looking around, going to try to find someone in the middle. And it was to Flawless, but he was bodied out, so it is going to be an incomplete. I can't even speak right now. And here we go. This boy. Let's see. He's going to try to find the check down here. Oh, and it's a fumble. Okay, it is recovered by the True Banks, but that still wasn't a very good outcome nonetheless. Although it definitely could have been a lot worse. But let's see if that fumble recovery from the True Banks matters here. Based on what happens on this third down. This boy going to be backed up quite a bit here. And it's going to be popped by Flawless. And it seems like that fumble didn't really matter much. But maybe if they can get 3 points on the board, no, they do not. So it seems the fumble did not really matter at the end of the day. But let's see, King Crusher not exactly in an ideal field position, but is going to make it work with best will on the left fold. Oh, here we go. King Crusher going to get chased down by these Cleveland defensive ends. They've definitely done well at that. And King Crusher tried to greet it again, but unfortunately going to get sacked once more. Again, it's King Crusher just held the ball for too long or tried to test it. Armani somehow finds a way. I couldn't even fully process that for a moment, so sorry about if my reaction was delayed, but I was not expecting Cleveland to get a touchdown there under those circumstances, and just like that, that is a pick six for Armani. What on earth is that catch? Or interception? You do not often see defensive ends get an interception, but those are the rare cases where they definitely can. And so far, things are going south for Miami at the moment. But you never know. Like I said, you can never count Miami out in these situations. So Cleveland may be in the driver's seat at the moment, but it is still the first quarter, so anything can happen. So Cleveland cannot play too conservative here. You gotta keep the pedal on the gas if you're Cleveland. Sorry, I was getting something to drink, but either way, Squishy going to get the pass on the deep end. I'm not sure if that was a toss or just a really good pass, but either way, it's going to be a beautiful catch there from Squishy. And here we go, King Crusher. Hoping to try and find something here. Gonna try to find FWKB, but it's going to be popped instantly after the catch. So far, this Cleveland defense has been very stingy for this Miami team to handle, but maybe Cleveland can hopefully make a mistake here somewhere. And it's going to try to be Squishy again, and it's going to be a touchdown. Able to reel it in. Oh, wait, no, that's not... wait, that's not Squishy. That's Shoota. That's Shoot. I forgot. I thought it was Squishy. My bad. Sorry, Shoot. But either way, if you don't know Shoot, if you didn't watch the New Orleans game, he's the one that made the game-winning touchdown at the very last second on the last play of the fourth quarter in that Miami versus New Orleans game. He definitely made a name for himself after that play. But let's see if he can continue this momentum and hopefully prove that it wasn't a fluke. I have 11 viewers, though. Holy crap. I'm liking this. But either way, Flawless going to be the one to return it there. And so far, this has been a very impressive game on both sides. Cleveland kind of getting the upper hand here, but let's see if they can keep it going. Tyrone III going to be the one to get the LOS pass. And with the first quarter coming to a close, the clock is a little bit glitchy, though, because it was at 0 for quite a bit before they hiked it. But either way, going to go to Flawless on the right fold. And it's going to be end of the first quarter. So far, this has been a very impressive game on both ends. And oh, this boy just holds it on for a little too long and just slowed down for whatever reason. I'm not sure if that was lag or he just stopped on purpose. But either way, it's going to be a sack nonetheless by Miami. And it's going to be try to toss it up. No, he does not get it. And it's going to be a 3rd and 40. This is a horrible position to be in if you are Cleveland. Because if you know if this is an incomplete pass, this will be a forced punt. And you definitely don't want Miami to have the ball. But here we go. Unfortunately, it is going to be an incomplete, just barely overthrown. And it looks like it's going to be a forced punt for Cleveland. If this was real-life Cleveland, it would definitely be their signature move. If I could say the bit, punts. All All right, there you go. I know I didn't like fully say it like that, but close enough, right? King Crusher though, looking very, very excellent. And it's gonna be a catch by Shoot on the right fold. Again, now it looks like Miami is starting to find some momentum here, but let's see if they can keep it up. Because right now they're riding pretty high on a very impressive defensive drive, but oh no, as I say that, just a very bad throw there from King Crusher. I don't really know where he was throwing to. I guess he wasn't expecting a fold or something. I don't really know who the target was exactly. It looked like a bit of a miscommunication, but nonetheless, Cleveland gets the ball. Flawless is looking to make his Super Bowl MVP case right now if Cleveland wins this. But here we go. Let's see. This boy is also kind of looking to make a name for himself here. He has been pretty good so far at quarterback, but let's see if they can try to find a way to score here. And, oh, just going to be overthrown again, but will they be forced to punt here? No, they will not. They can go for it on fourth. But a 4th and 5, though, a lot of pressure is on that because you mess up once, you give Miami very ideal field position here. And it's going to be a catch, thankfully, to Flawless. Flawless when it matters most. Able to always be there and always be open. He's just 7'11". But either way, this boy looking to try to run it himself. Not going to get very far, though. Only about a gain of 1 or 2 on that play. But, I mean, again, this has been very, very good defense on both teams. Or just bad offense, however you want to really slice it. But, Shoot! Going to be the one to get the interception. And there you go. A defensive stop that Miami definitely needed. Shoot, able to get there earlier than the Cleveland receiver. And just like that, Miami has a chance to turn this game around. I mean, so far this has been very back and forth from both teams. Saints would have mercied by now? I mean, maybe, but... I mean, maybe they should, maybe they would have, maybe they wouldn't, but... Unfortunately, they're not in the finals. So... It's all coulda, shoulda, woulda at the end of the day. But either way, Miami going to get it. Was looking for the out route there, but just going to be incomplete. I mean, so far, though, both quarterbacks have been kind of shaky so far, I will admit. But... Again, it's just the second quarter. Like, there's obviously plenty of time to still... Okay, I would not really say that's King Crusher's fault. But either way, it's a 3rd and 15, though. You definitely don't want to be on a 3rd and 15 here. Or a 4th and 15, for that matter. Because that can definitely put you in situations where you're forced to punt. But either way, let's see if we can find it here. FWKB, it's going to find the fold on the left side. Going to get a good 24-yard gain off of that catch. But either way, King Crusher going to be looking around. He's going to try to find a deep pass. It's going to be a toss, but unfortunately Flawless making another huge interception there. Dude, I feel like Flawless has to be the Super Bowl MVP if Cleveland wins, right? Like, like that's already 3 interceptions for him, I think. Like, he is making his Super Bowl resume known here. But it's going to be Flawless again for a right fold. Like, unless the Flawless gets, like, PC checked or whatever and he gets out as a cheater, like, there is no way he doesn't get Super Bowl MVP here, right? Silver, though, going to be the one there on that left fold. But either way, this boy. It's going to be Flawless. gonna be again with another touchdown. Dude, man, they are just giving it to Flawless at this point. Yeah, I feel like if Cleveland wins, they're definitely gonna... Flawless has to be the Super Bowl MVP. There's no way he doesn't. Again, unless he gets out as an exploiter, which, I mean, I'm not going to make that accusation. I'm not saying he's an exploiter, but I'm just saying he could be. I'm not going to say he is. He might not be, and he's legitimate. But you never know. You never know, man. You never know. Not going to really start any drama, but I'm just kind of saying it because it could happen. You never know. Especially if he does a little too well, if you get my drift. But either way, though, Miami not in the most ideal position here so far into this game. But thankfully, there is one benefit Miami has in that they do get the ball at the second half. So they can capitalize on that. So maybe they can find a way to get some momentum here after halftime because they do get the ball in the second half. That is definitely one benefit they have here going into this game. Or coming out of the second, or coming into this. But here we go. It's going to be to Aggie, and it's going to be a touchdown by him. And just like that, Miami finally on the board once again. Sorry, I thought someone was there. But either way, though, a very good play there from this Miami offense. Definitely a score when they need it most. Okay, maybe not when they need it like the most, but they definitely need a score right now. And now all they really need to do for Miami to hopefully take the lead is try to get a stop on this Cleveland defense. Dang, 15 views. That's crazy. But either way, this boy going to be throwing a Tyrone the third on the check down, and it's going to be good for a 16-yard gain with a little bit of juking from Tyrone. And here we go. This boy, or Thizzy, going to be looking around. Oh my gosh, he's just wide open there. To Drew Banks, completely wide open there on that right fold. As Miami just couldn't seem to get to him in time. And now this Thizzy looking for a toss over here. And it's going to be to Silver. And just like that, that drive could not have looked any easier if you were Cleveland. But there is one small problem with that. One very small one. You do give Miami plenty of time to score right back. And since they do get the ball at the second half, that could be pretty huge. So again, it was definitely a very good play for them, but it might have been what Miami wanted. And it may not be the biggest chance in the world, but if you want any chance to hopefully take the lead, I think it was definitely a good call to maybe let them score. I think some could definitely argue that, but I mean, I'd rather just have a turnover than let them score, obviously, but I mean, if that's not really an option, you're better off just letting them score as fast as you can and maybe get as much time on the clock and maybe try to control the game after that, But either way, though, King Crusher, with 43 seconds left, again, that's a lot of time for Miami to score here. They don't need to score immediately, and I think King Crusher knows this. So shoot, going to be the one to get it catch on the right fold. It's going to be a 21 or 22-yard gain on that play. And now King Crusher, I mean, if you're King Crusher, you are not in any rush to score right now. But you're going to get FWKB. And just like that, Miami, once again, with another touchdown to one of their best receivers. And it's going to be the FWKB right there. So far, this is still looking to be a 1-2 scoring game from the looks of it. And again, uh, Cleveland, this is not a very comfortable lead. Do not mistake this as a do not mistake this for Miami being out. You can't count Miami out because Miami was down 3 scores in the fourth quarter. So again, you cannot let your guard down if you're Cleveland, not even for a moment. So again, with whatever time you have left, okay, 19 seconds. So whatever time you have left with 19 seconds, you got to find a way to score here. And again, you don't have to toss it immediately. You can't just go for these small gains like that. Like this one to Silver. You don't have to score. You can just play it safe, play conservative. Don't risk tossing it up yet. All right, and I think and here we go. It's going to be the True Banks on the left side, and it looks like this will be a timeout called by Silver. So Cleveland will have time to make at least one play here. Maybe two if they're fast enough, but let's see what they will do here. And it looks like it will be a toss-up. Miami only going to be rushing one. I don't know if I fully agree with this call, but we'll see what happens here. It's going to be a toss, and it's going to be intercepted by King Crusher. And just like that, that is a huge defensive stop for Miami. Oh gosh, voice crack there, but just like that, Miami is now in it. Since Miami gets the ball at the second half. So Miami does have a chance to answer back and make this at minimum, a 1-point game. At minimum I don't know. Like, minimum's weird because, like, technically the biggest lead Cleveland could have is 2 if they score, but I don't know if that's really at minimum, but I don't know. But either way, best will, because 2 is more than 1, and I don't know. You get the idea. It's basically going to be a 1 to 2 point game nonetheless. But either way, King Crusher. But it's going to be a best will. But here we go, King Crusher. Going to be to Aggie on the check down. It's going to be a 10-yard gain. But here we go, King Crusher. It's going to be looking around. It's going to find Shoot on the right fold. And it's going to be good for 11-yard gain. And right now, Miami definitely in cruise control right now on this offensive drive. Not really being too shaken by this Cleveland defense. But again, this is where defense is a bit better here in around red zone territory, because the zones get a little bit more dumbed down for the deeps. But I couldn't even process that in time. What in the world just happened? It seems that the Miami receiver just jumped a little bit early from the looks of it. And Trollage just able to capitalize on such a massive mistake, whether intentionally or not. But nonetheless, turnover for Cleveland. What in the world is this game? I feel like Miami has definitely been missing a couple of easy passes like that one. And it's just kind of costing them. I mean, again, I can't count Miami out. I mean, that is kind of the motto for them, but ugh. That's definitely not going to be an easy one to recover from, especially with how well Cleveland has been playing so far this game. Although, admittedly, Flawless has been a bit quiet so far this drive, but maybe that will change a bit later. Uh-oh, and it looks like Vizzy's going to be backed up quite a bit, though. Going to try to give it to Tyrone. Going to get tackled immediately, though, for about 5 or 6 yards. I mean, so far this has looked very excellent for them. But let's see if they can get there. And it's going to be the True Banks on the left fold. And This has looked very, very excellent for them. This boy going to be looking around, see what he can find. It's going to be to Flawless once again, but is he going to get the touchdown? Yes, he will. And that will be another touchdown for Flawless, adding more and more to his resume for Super Bowl MVP. I'm going to be glazing the crap out of him right now, unintentionally, but come on, you can't really hate it. You can't hate how Flawless is playing right now. But man, this is just... I'll say, man, Flawless is definitely making a case for Super Bowl MVP if Cleveland secures this win. But I know I keep saying it like a broken record, but you can't really say a game is over until it's secured, you know? It's never over until it's over. So again, it's pretty much like a lot of competitive games. Oh, I got a sub. Let's go. Static, thanks for the sub there. Don't mind the Kog'Maw sound effect. It's fine. I'm a bit of a League of Legends player, so I just wanted to mesh that in a little bit if I can. But either way, though, King Crusher. Let's see if he can try to recover from this, and it's going to be the best will. Does have a bit of room to run, and oh my gosh, he is... Okay, that was quite a good play there from Best Will. Even if he didn't get very far with it, he definitely got... Those couple extra yards could matter, but we'll see what will happen. And here we go, King Crusher. Going to be looking around. And King Crusher going to be backed it quite a bit, though. He doesn't really have much room to throw it, but he's going to try to throw it deep. And Squishy going to find a way to get it. Somehow reel it into the end zone. What in the world was that play from Squishy? I mean, that's just a massive play there from King Crusher. I cannot really deny that. I wouldn't really say they're a bum team when you're losing, whoever that Miami player is. Again, not by a lot, though. They're not losing by a lot, but... Wow, what a heck of a play there. But here we go, Flawless, going to be the one to make the return. And so far, this has looked very, very good for Miami so far. But let's see if Miami can hopefully get a turnover here. And they will! FWKB somehow, some way, found a way to intercept that ball. It seems that he was looking for a fold, but the quarterback slightly misfired it. Either that or the wide receiver is just not in the right position. And just like that, Miami going to have the ball once again and potentially make this a one-point game. Man, this is going almost perfect for Miami here. But again, they do need to capitalize on this mistake here. King Crusher gonna take it and run, only going to get about 5 yards on that play. Here we go, King Crusher. Going to be looking around. Gonna find Wasef for an 11-yard gain here. And here we go, King Crusher with a prime opportunity to score here with a 1st and goal. The worst case scenario for Miami right now is to hopefully not turn the ball over. But will it happen? Oh, it seems that Best Will did catch the pass, but it was popped. Not very lucky first down. Not a very lucky first down if you're Miami. But again, it was just first down. This is not the end of the world. You still have a couple more plays to maybe make something work here. And it's going to be to shoot. Shoot, going to get the 10-yard touchdown off of the right hitch. And then just like that, Miami now with a 2-point deficit possibly a 1-point deficit if they're able to hit this extra point. And here we go. Unfortunately, the kick will be no good, but I don't think it's really that big of a deal. But so far, Miami is just looking really good right now. And here we go. Here we go, Thizzy. Going to try to find a streak there to Silver. Going to be incomplete, though, just a tad bit overthrown. That was a very tightly covered pass there. That definitely was a very risky decision from Thizzy, but either way, going to give it to Tyrone on the LOS with 7 yards. And now Thizzy looking around once more. Oh, was looking for trollage on the right fold, but unfortunately accidentally stepped out of bounds before touching the, or accidentally stepped out of bounds right when he caught the ball, so it will be incomplete. And it looks like it will be a touchback for Miami. That is exactly what Miami wanted here. You definitely needed a defensive stop, and they got it. And now King Crusher, with all the momentum here, all the time. And you got Best Will looking around once again. Best Will is arguably your best receiver for Miami, but I don't know who's going to get Super Bowl MVP if Miami finds a way to come up and win this. You could probably give it to anyone. I mean, it could be the Best Will. Speaking of which, going to get the touchdown there. And Best Will, with the very easy pass to him, Best Will just took it into the end zone. So far, this Miami team has definitely been locking in. I don't know what in the world happened early in the game, but nonetheless, Miami has now taken the lead for the first time this game. And oh, hold on one sec. Sorry, I'm just not commentating right now, but it's fine. And it's going to be a deep pass there. Going to be incomplete, though. And here we go, 39 to... hold on, I'm typing something right now, so I can't commentate immediately. Sorry, guys. Hold on. All right, sorry about that, guys. Took a little bit, but I'm fine now. Here we go. Thizzy with the 4th and 5. You definitely do not want to mess this play up of all plays. Right now, Miami's being very stingy, and looks like they're going to try to toss it up. Very risky, but is going to be caught by Flawless with another touchdown. And just like that, Cleveland has taken back the lead somehow, some way. Just when you think Miami could seal this one away with an interception, Flawless says no. You cannot count Cleveland out either. And just like that, this game is going to be back and forth until one side makes a mistake on offense. And it's going to show that right here and there. Like, you cannot get rid of them that easily. But here we go. Let's see what they can do here. And looks like it's going to be a return there. Maybe not the most ideal return. And that definitely shows it because they're going to be starting at their own 10-yard line A very good kick there by Miami. Definitely caught them off guard. And it's going to be to Bestwill on the walk. And it's only going to be good for a 17-yard gain. Here we go, King Crusher. Sorry, I'm just a little tired today, but it's fine. I'm still good. Okay, so King Crusher going to be backed up quite a bit here. Going to look for Wasef on the right side. Here we go, King Crusher with a lot of time right now. It's running kind of thin though. It's going to be to shoot on the right side, and so far this is looking to be some kind of shootout. This is where things get very interesting. It seems that the early game for both teams was just them trying to shake off the cobwebs on offense. Trying to shake off any jitters they had. Because this has been very tremendous play on offense for both sides. This is exactly why the meta is very offensive favored. Like I said before, I know the early in the game wasn't really proving it, but once it kind of gets going, it just starts to pop. But either way, though, King Crusher going to be looking around here. Doesn't really have a lot of time, though. He might have to throw it away. And it looks like he's probably going to do just that. A very smart decision there by King Crusher. Just didn't really see anyone wide open. Or didn't see a lot of things that are uncontested, so I think it was a very smart decision on King Crusher's part there. Wisely throwing it away. And it's going to be to shoot. Doesn't quite get it in the end zone according to the game. I think the ball definitely reached the end zone, but nonetheless, it's still going to be a first and goal, but King Crusher momentarily body blocked by his own teammate, but it didn't really matter. Somehow able to find a way to get into the end zone. And that is going to be a touchdown for Miami. Who would you give Miami MVP to if they win this game? I feel like you can kind of go either way with Miami. Like, you could give it to Bestwill, you could give it to FWKB. King Crusher is definitely, I think King Crusher is definitely looking to be the best candidate for right now. But I don't think you can really go wrong with Bestwill or FWKB though. And they do go for two and shoot. Going to be the one to make the 2-point conversion. But like I said though, if you had to pick an MVP candidate for Miami, King Crusher, so far he's been playing a tremendous game so far. Very few mistakes so far into this game. And Silver going to get it on the walk and just completely caught Miami off guard there. Very massive gains. If for Cleveland, sorry, I'm kind of stuttering, but a little bit. Silver gonna get one on another walk. It seems that Silver has changed positions and it's completely throwing them by surprise. And Silver going to get it once again for the touchdown. It's like, hey, we got you those first couple times, but we might as well give you another one. Might as well just give you a touchdown. And just like that, this is a tie game, ladies and gentlemen. However, they can break that tie with a 2-point conversion or an extra point, and it looks like they will go for 2, since it is the easier option of the 2, surprisingly. But let's see what will happen here. This boy, Thizzy, going to try to run it himself. It's going to be a fumble, and unfortunately, couldn't quite convert the 2-pointer, so it will be a tie game. That is a very huge play there. Very huge defensive stop for Miami there. A very, very massive call. And now Miami doesn't really have a lot of room for, or has a bit more room for error here in case they turn this ball over, because again, it's still a tie game, meaning it will go into overtime unless Cleveland scores. So again, they do have a bit more room for error thanks to that defensive stop on the 2-point conversion. And looks like it's going to be to shoot. Shoot, going to be the one to get it, and he will. And so far, this has been a very solid game for both teams, but only one can win it. With 1 minute and 45 seconds left in the game. And King Crusher, with a bit of time, and is only going to find Best Will there on their left fold. And now with 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock, with a game coming to a close here, slowly and slowly. And it's going to be to shoot. It's going to be a fumble. Thankfully, Squishy does get it. That could have been a very bad fumble. That could have costed Miami the game single-handedly on that very drive. Okay, maybe not single-handedly, but it definitely would have not been very good if that was a turnover. But it's going to be Miami with prime position to score here. King Crusher with plenty of time, though. All they need to do is find a way to score. It doesn't even have to be a touchdown. Oh, no, but it's going to be Best Will being the one to catch it, but doesn't quite get his feet in bounds. That is very devastating. But we'll see if that will matter. And it's going to be to Best Will. Not going to get anywhere still. It seems that he mistimed the dive, and now it's a 3rd and goal. Miami is just struggling right now to get a touchdown here. Cleveland is definitely playing very, very stingy at the moment. I mean, this is just... I don't really know what you do if you're King Crusher. Oh no, and now it's a 4th and goal. What do you do if you're Miami? Do you go for it or just go for a field goal and maybe pray Cleveland makes a mistake and it looks like they're going to go for it. This is a massive gamble here. A very massive gamble. And here we go, King Crusher going to be tackled, but he will not be enough. But it won't be enough to catch Wasef before he gets to the end zone, and that will be a touchdown for Miami. That could be a potential game-winning touchdown. And now all the pressure is on Cleveland to score here with 34 seconds left on the clock. And King Crusher finding a way to guide his team to victory. But will it be enough to stop Cleveland? We're going to find out how easy that will be with this 2-point conversion. Okay, Cleveland does have a chance if they can get a touchdown here. Cleveland does have a chance. That missed 2-point conversion might be a bigger deal than you think. Flawless going to get a very modest return, though. At around the 39-yard line, that's not terrible. It's definitely doable, but Silver... going to get a 15-yard gain. Again, they don't need to score immediately, but they do need to savor every second if they can, because they can't really waste it either. And it looks like it's going to be on the right side. Going to give it to Dutru Banks. You have to call a timeout here if you're Silver, and it looks like they will. All right, with 14 seconds, though, you're in prime scoring position here. There's definitely a lot of pressure here if you're in Miami, because you have to get a stop here. You cannot allow a touchdown under any circumstance whatsoever. Because if they do, it will be very bad for Miami. I don't need to exaggerate that, but it's going to be caught. Limitless. Gonna find a way to get it. What on earth, man? With 7 seconds left, though, I don't know if that's a lot of time for Miami to turn around and score, but... I mean, that's just a really good play, though, for Cleveland, and Limitless going to be the one to do just that. But will they get this 2-point conversion? If they don't, this game might go into overtime. So we will see what happens. No, they do not. And now I don't know why I'm getting nervous. I'm not even the one playing, but now they are tied. Okay, it will be a touchback. I think Miami can maybe make room for one little quick play, and then they have to call a timeout and maybe hope to toss it. I think that's the plan. I think maybe try to make a walk play, get a couple yards, and then try to find something. It looks like Miami's going to call an early timeout here, just to give them some time to breathe here. With time to breathe, I think that's a very good timeout there. You don't really have a lot of time left, so might as well make the most of your timeouts if you can. And it looks like it will be a triple rush from Cleveland. Not going to give Miami that much time to throw it. Thank goodness that was not a safety, because that definitely would have been very unideal. But let's see, can Miami get it? Yes, they can to Squishy! And just like that, Miami is your Super Bowl champions off of that one toss-up catch. I thought Miami didn't have enough time to throw it down the field with the triple rush, but somehow they find a way, and Squishy going to be the one to get it. And just like that, Miami with another miracle, although not quite as substantial, is still a miracle nonetheless, and Miami has won the game. What on earth was that game? I'm gonna show stats real quick, because why not? Wow. Miami, against all odds, once again, able to find a way to win it off of a toss-up. What on earth, man? That is, man, if you're Cleveland, I would not be happy about that. Like, you're one play away from winning, and you end up losing it off of a coin flip toss. Off of a coin flip toss-up. That is very tragic. But man, that was a heck of a game by both teams. What an absolute game from both teams. I mean, like I said, Cleveland, y'all put up a heck of a fight. What an absolute battle on both from both teams. I mean, Cleveland, I can't say it enough. Miami, you guys are Super Bowl champions, but man, Cleveland, you definitely put up a heck of a fight. You guys definitely took it to the very end. So I think us and Miami will definitely give y'all a lot of respect for that. But at the end of the day, there can only be one winner. But man, now that Miami is the winner, who's going to get Super Bowl MVP for Miami? Would it be Squishy or King Crusher? I feel like it's one of those two, personally. I mean, Best Will and FWKB could also be there too, but I think it's either going to be Squishy or FWKB. Oh, wait, no, I mean Squishy or King Crusher. I feel like it's one of those two. You could make an argument for both. I mean, Squishy had a heck of a game with a couple of crazy touchdowns, but King Crusher had a very good game, though. Like, especially in the second half. Like, near flawless. Hey, Squishy, speaking of which. But man, you could go either... Honestly, you could go either way with these two. What are you doing? Hi. But either way, though, I mean, I don't know who's going to get Super Bowl MVP. I think it's going to be Squishy or King Crusher for sure. I think you can. I don't think you can go wrong with either one. Man, Kick made a mistake not pinging that game. Not that it's his fault, but you know. Man, that game was absolutely wild. I mean, I can't go wrong with that, you know? Ugh, man. What a game that went down to the very end. Dude, I could barely, like, breathe properly. I mean, I can't really breathe properly much either, anyways, even without the game because my deviated septum's weird. But that's why I sometimes like breathe in my mouth a lot. So sorry if you heard that a couple times, but I'm just keeping the stream up right now in case something else is happening. Um, I don't know if there's gonna be like an awards thing or not. I can ask the commissioners if he wants me to end the stream, but yeah, I did see it. Yeah, it's for the world to see, man. But it's a real life digital footprint. Okay, well, apparently Roy told me to end the stream at some point, so yeah, you did pretty. Yeah, I will say, I think Squishy or King Crusher is definitely gonna be MVP. I don't know which one, but whoever's gonna decide that, have fun choosing because not I don't think even I could. But man, what an absolute game! But either way, though, I guess all good things must come to an end. If that's what people always say. But thank you guys for watching, and it was a great game. Congratulations to Miami. It was a good. I mean, Cleveland, you put up a good fight, but Miami is going to be your Super Bowl champions for season 3 in one way or another. And I guess that's all I can really say. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye. Or actually, at the start of season 4, or whenever that may be. So bye.